Why, yes, I believe we shall.
Oh, I got a live one here.
Live from Little Rock, it's Shane Plays Radio, Geek Talk Radio, a journey into the things we love. I'm your host, Shane Stacks. Thanks so much for listening. This week is a little different. I'm actually recording this portion of the show, the intro, after the fact. We were on location, live and remote, at the River City Comic Expo, which is really turning into a great annual event, pop culture, geek, comic book convention, right in the heart of Little Rock, downtown, the State House Convention Center. There's 4 ballrooms turned into just a big geek extravaganza. There's all kinds of booths, vendors, special guests, lots of games. I ran role-playing games, helped coordinate that for the first time this year, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm about to lead in, but don't forget, you can always catch the show multiple ways. You can catch it live on 96.5 FM, The Answer, out of Little Rock. Saturdays at 1 o'clock. That's also live stream, so you can listen live. It doesn't matter where you are, anywhere in the world. You can listen 96.5 FM, theanswer.com. You can listen to the live stream. Then, of course, we go out as a podcast a few days after each live show on, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play Music, and I also put a version of the show up on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/GoShanePlays. And finally, last but certainly not least, we're always pleased to be on Krypton Radio. KryptonRadio.com is sci-fi for your Wi-Fi, and we always run a week delayed on Krypton Radio. Love our Krypton Radio listeners. So, with no further ado, I'll go ahead and move you over. Let me introduce you to what you're about to hear. I'm just gonna, go right into it. I'm just kind of talking with GL, who's my producer, on the remote. We're about to get into the news segment, and then later in the show, I end up actually just kind of walking around the expo with a mobile unit, just kind of doing man on the street interviews with cosplayers and vendors and that sort of thing. So it was a lot of fun. And if you happen to be listening to this in your Little Rock area, I hope you got to go to the Comic Expo. And I know I've got a couple of listeners that I met this weekend. I believe, and if I'm saying this name off the top of my head wrong, I apologize, but it was either Will White or Will Wright. I'm thinking it was Will White, and I really enjoyed meeting you and talking with you, and I hope to see you again soon, man. So anyway, everybody, enjoy the show. It was a lot of fun, and I hope, since you couldn't be there, most of you, that this is the next best thing, and you get a little bit of feeling what it was like to be at the Comic Expo.
Who's running things from the booth, or not the booth, but the board op room back at the station. I'm actually remote right now, but John Boyega from Star Wars Force Awakens, I'm hearing, is in Pacific Rim 2. I'm just hearing. Cody, did you hear anything about that? About John Boyega is going to be in Pacific Rim 2? No, I'm just now hearing about this. So, what about you, GL or Zach? Have y'all heard anything about this? GL, you there?
Yeah.
Have you heard? Have you heard of this about the John Boyega may be in Pacific Rim 2? I'm having a hard time hearing you. Are you there? I'm having a hard time hearing GL, but evidently there was one of the main characters in Pacific Rim 1 was a guy named Stacker Pentecost, and evidently he's going to be playing his son. So I was a Pacific Rim fan. I'm looking forward to the second one, and I'm interested to hear that John Boyega is going to be, doing stuff beyond just Star Wars The Force Awakens, because sometimes, brand new actors that have breakout roles in major movies have a hard time finding stuff in other roles. They'll get typecast, or they'll get kind of put in just certain kinds of movies. So hopefully this will help him, not just have one amazing role and then never be able to do anything outside of that. The other thing that I want to mention, speaking of movies, evidently the Warcraft movie is out now, and it's not getting bad reviews, but it's getting a lot of it could have been better kind of reviews. So
seen that in the previews myself.
Yeah, did you now? So GL, you're hearing the same thing. It's kind of meh.
Yeah, and even myself, when I looked at it, just judging off the trailers, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out on video. I'm not, everything I've seen on the trailers, it looks like your standard kind of fantasy action movie. I'm not seeing anything groundbreaking. So, but yeah, I'm getting a lot of the stuff I'm seeing is that, like I said, not necessarily that it's bad, but that it missed opportunity to do something better. So, and if anyone's out there listening, you can always. This is talk radio. This is Geek Talk Radio, just like sports talk radio or religious talk radio or politics or whatever. But this is Geek Talk Radio, so you can call in if you have an opinion or if you've heard anything on World of Warcraft or just have any questions or comments. You can call me at 501-823-0965. And you can also tweet me at Shane Plays. That's ShanePlays. ShanePlays.com. So that's pretty much what I'm hearing, or what I have for the news this week. Kind of a short news segment since we're live here. But I did want to mention those things. They caught my eye. Also, I'm going to have kind of some maybe throughout the show, but definitely now, depending on how things go as I go walk around out there. I was gonna, since we're at the River City Comic Expo, I've got some news on how comic books sold in 2015 and 2016. So I found I did the same thing from River City Comic Expo last year, where I went to comichron.com, COMICHRON.com. I guess that's short for Comic Chronicles. Comics Chronicles, and what they do is they do their best to they sort of gather and compile and analyze as much information as they can, because there's no real super hard and fast, completely reliable source on what comic books sell well. So you just kind of have to do your best guess. And of course, this distributor is going to say this, and this company is going to say this. So this website tries to kind of aggregate it all together and give an accurate picture. But I'll give a little bit of the, let's see, I'm on 2016, and I think I've got 2015 pulled up as well. I do. So we talked about this a little bit last year, and it's only got this broke down by month. I wish they had it by year, but I think that I think they kind of have that here. But the number one selling comic book title, period, for 2015 was Star Wars #1, and from Marvel, and that had an estimated over 1 million orders. Now, does that surprise you, GL, that would be the big one?
No, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Okay, do you have in a top 10? Do you want to guess who else might be in there? Do you have any guesses?
Oh man, that's hard. How about you give me ABC?
Well, I'll just do it this way because I'm putting you on the spot. Number 2 for 2015, period, is Secret Wars #1 from Marvel. So, and then this is weird. I haven't even heard of this. This made number 3 from Boom Comics, was Bravest Warriors Tales Holo John. Now, he's got a footnote on that out here, and I'm not sure what the footnote's trying to tell me. I'm trying to scroll down and look, but that one, I've never even heard of that one, but that came in at number 3 for 2015, evidently, completely. So that's kind of surprising to me. I'll run down the other top 10 for 2015, and then later in the show, if we have a chance, I'll talk about how 2016 sales have gone on so far. Number 4 was Orphan Black #1, which I guess is an adaptation of the TV show from IDW. Number 5 for 2015 is Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, #1 from DC. That does not surprise me a bit, because the original Dark Knight was a huge, groundbreaking series. Now, the second one they came out with, The Dark Knight Strikes Again, didn't do so well, or it wasn't received well. I'm sure it sold well. But the Dark Knight 3 with Frank Miller and there's another writer-artist involved. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's, evidently there's a stronger interest in that. And that's actually interesting. Out of all the top 10, that's DC's only #1. The rest is all Marvel. We got Star Wars Vader Down #1 at number 6. Darth Vader #1 at number 7. Spider-Gwen #1 at number 8. Invincible Iron Man #1 at 10, or at 9. And then Princess Leia at number 10. So out of all those titles I just threw out there, what pattern do you see there, GL?
I see Marvel's dominating.
And Star Wars, like 4 or 5 of them were We had Star Wars, we had Star Wars Vader Down, we had Darth Vader, and we had Princess Leia from Star Wars, all in the top 10. So that was from 2015. That surprises me quite a bit.
Why does that surprise you? I guess it doesn't surprise me because the Star Wars fan base is just crazy, like generational audit.
Yeah, no, I hear that, but that doesn't always, just because you have a rabid fan base on a product doesn't always mean that you'll translate that over into like a comic book, right? Sometimes that stuff's hit or miss. So, I'm not surprised that Star Wars #1 sold that well, but for all the other titles that are coming out, that does surprise me a little bit. So, and we may do some January 2016, or not January, but some 2016 numbers later in the show. I'm going to go ahead and take us to a break, and when we come back, I'm probably going to try to walk around and see if I can talk with some folks and find out what all's going on down here at the River City Comic Expo. Folks, remember, River City Comic Expo is going on today, Saturday, and tomorrow, Sunday. This year, it's 2 years. It's never been that before. And the Little Rock Picture Show is here. You've got cosplay going on. You got all kinds of panels. I'll be moderating a panel tomorrow at 1 o'clock with the animator, the creator, Joel Adams, who was the character designer and animation designer on King of the Hill for the first 3 years. And it's going to be called Designing Ugly. But there's all kinds of panels. I mean, like I said, you got your hero from Star Trek is here, Nichelle Nichols. You got Gil Gerard from Buck Rogers. You got Mike Zeck. You've got Michael Golden. You've got Neil Adams. You have all these amazing comic artists. You got all kinds of vendors. Show sponsor Game Goblins is here. Show sponsor Michael Tierney with the comic book store, and Collector's Edition is here. Just all kinds of really cool stuff. I'm just watching so many people walk around, have a great time. And there's, hold on a second, Stuart Berryhill. He was on the show last week. He's running around doing yeoman's work. Just say hi to everybody, Stuart.
Hi, everybody, Stuart.
Well, hey, there you go. You want to? What's the one thing that you want to highlight here that maybe people don't know about?
The one thing, wow. There are a lot of people here. And
there are a lot of people here.
We actually have some room for more people, but I'm not sure how much more. I think the one thing I want to highlight is how incredible it is to see people like Gil Gerard, Nichelle Nichols, Felix Silla. Here.
Yeah, Felix from Walking Dead is here, right? No,
he's from. Felix played Twiki.
Oh, that's right. I was getting, because you got an actor from The Walking Dead here as well. Yeah, Twiki's here. Yeah,
Twiki's here. He was actually also in Return of the Jedi.
What part did he play in Return of the Jedi?
Not sure which one of them is one of the Ewoks.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. So he's here. In other words, there's a lot of cool booths and vendors and guests and stuff like that here. Oh, so what is the interest in Nichelle Nichols been so far?
She looks like she's been very busy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, Stuart, speaking of busy, I know you're ridiculously busy, and you've already helped me several times today, so I appreciate you very much. And you guys, once again this year, have put on a great show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, and as always, glad to be here. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I'm going to do some Elvis. Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to, GL, take us to a break. When we come back, I'm probably going to walk around and annoy more people. Shane Plays Radio, a journey into the things we love. Comic book lovers, visit thewildstars.com today. From the mind of author and comic book industry expert Michael Tierney, it's not just a comic book, it's a comic book novel. The Wild Stars is sci-fi and so much more. Learn the explanations behind UFOs and space gods. This isn't the Twilight Zone. This is the region of the Milky Way galaxy known as the Wild Stars. We guarantee you've never read anything like it. The complete comic book novel took 20 years to tell, with one reviewer noting, the story of the Wild Stars stretches ambitiously across space and time, from small-town murders to the destruction of planets, with every event given multiple layers of meaning. If you haven't read The Wild Stars, you're missing out. Visit thewildstars.com
today.
Megawars.net.
The classic online space strategy game has returned, bigger and better than ever before. Scout the universe and claim your empire. Construct, customize, and launch dozens of different starships. Battle thousands of opponents online in a team-based competition leading to the ultimate Battle of the Galaxies. Grab your slot today for the only online game where tactics and strategy still reign supreme. Visit Megawars.net and get options only available in our special pre-sales previews running now.
Megawars.net.
The die is cast. Plunge into worlds of fantastic adventure where dragons lie and the undead stalk the shades of your mind's imagines. Where creatures of legend plunder wealth through the horror of their passage. Monsters grim and foul hold the ecstasy of gold and the renown of glory. All this and more awaits you and your friends in the unlimited, fantastic world of the Castles and Crusades role-playing game from Trollord Games. Visit your friendly local game store or Trollord.com to get your copy today. A rules-light, adaptable game that has stood the test of time. 12 years in constant publication with no new additions, Castles and Crusades is the original easy-to-play attribute check system. Join us and unleash your imagination. Visit your friendly local game store or Trollord.com to get your copy of Castles and Crusades today. Shane Plays Radio is blessed to have sponsors, and we appreciate them very much. However, did you know that you can also support the show as an individual for as little as $1 an episode? Simply go to patreon.com/ShanePlays.
All right, we're back with Shane Plays Geek Talk Radio, a journey into the things we love. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're just joining us, just now tuning in, we've got we are live. We've got a remote unit, but we are live and remote from the River City Comic Expo, downtown Little Rock. 2-day major comic book, science fiction, pop culture event, including now the Little Rock Picture Show and Game Goblins. Show sponsor Game Goblins has all kinds of gaming going on down here as well. I'm watching a pretty huge Magic tournament happening right now. We've also got role-playing games on both days at 11 a.m., at 3 p.m., and that's both days, 11 a.m., 3 p.m. There's still plenty of time to get into a game today at 3 or tomorrow at 11 or again at 3 o'clock tomorrow. We've got Dungeons and Dragons. We've got Castles and Crusades. Show sponsor Castles and Crusades is here. Actually, Trollord Games running games. We've got GURPS, Generic Universal Role-Playing System. We have a game later today that is in the vein of and inspired by, but due to legal reasons, not exactly Voltron. And then tomorrow, in honor of River City Comic Expo, GM Tony Dutra from GURPS is running River City Rampage River City Renegades, which is inspired by the classic video game River City Rampage. So, lots of great stuff. We got, like I said, we got Star Wars, Pathfinder, tons of. Hey, Brent, come say hi. You can't. Okay. Well, the coordinator, the man of the whole show, Brent just walked by. Brent Douglas, I've had him on before, and I was trying to get him on, but he's putting out one of probably an innumerable number of fires. So I was going to have him say hi to you guys, but he's just running around making sure that everybody's having a good time. So anyway, there's plenty of role-playing games. Also, there's a Warhammer tournament going on here. I think tomorrow there's a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and I think another tournament with Game Goblins. I'll try to get some more information. In fact, I'm going to let David with Game Goblins. We've been hanging out this morning and help make sure people get in. It's afternoon now, but we've been hanging out since early morning. I'm going to let David say hi. And David, why don't you tell us what other tournaments people can still sign up for down here?
Hey. Yeah, we still have plenty of tournaments going on right now. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Happening tomorrow. You can sign up before 12. We still have the Magic going on right now, of course. We have Warhammer going on today and tomorrow. And plenty of other events.
All right. Well, thanks, David. And isn't there Pokemon going on at the actual Game Goblin store today? Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, is the point. I'm gonna throw out real quick. Oh, and I was gonna say again, so people don't forget, the River City Comic Expo. You can come down here today and tomorrow. It's $10 for one day entrance or $15 for both days, and there's plenty of panels. and all kinds of great stuff. You can go to rivercitycomicexpo.com or look for River City Comic Expo on Facebook. There's a lot of amazing panels and events. Like I said, the Little Rock Picture Show. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on down here. And of course, I've been helping organize, in conjunction with show sponsor Game Goblins, organize role-playing games for the very first time. So would love for people to come check that out. We got a lot of players, but we do have room for more. So I'm going to throw out some more comic book statistics, and then we are going to try to actually go remote, which that's going to be interesting because I haven't done that before. I'm just going to jump out there and see what happens. And B, our battery's low, and we keep trying to charge it, and it doesn't seem to want to charge. So this could be interesting for numerous reasons when we go remote here in a second. But if we go off the air, if it's podcast version, of course, we'll edit it out. But if it's live and it goes dead for a minute or two, don't worry, we'll come back. So anyway, here we go, GL. I got some more stats for you. The number one selling comic book of January 2016. Now, we don't have all of the totals for 2016 yet, but the number one selling comic book for January 2016 was The Walking Dead.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So do you read The Walking Dead or do you just watch it?
I didn't know about it, and I started watching the show first, and then I started reading the comics.
I tell you, I've got the big omnibus for the first 50 issues, or 25 or something like that. I think 50 issues. And I'm about a third of the way through it. And I will say it is definitely more hardcore than the show. And the show is pretty hardcore. But yeah, you thought the governor was bad on the TV show? The governor in the comic books is no joke. So none at all. How far are you in the comic books?
I'm in the very early stages.
Okay. Well, wait till you get to the governor.
I just got done reading like 5.
All right. Wait till you get to governor. That's all I'm going to say. He's no joke. All right. And then also we've got The Dark Knight 3, The Master Race again for February 2016. And then March 2016, we've got Batman. And then April 2016, this is interesting. Black Panther #1 from Marvel was the #1 comic.
Now, that is surprising.
Yeah, we don't have the stats for May yet. I guess they haven't compiled them or whatever. I'm not surprised, because, a lot of people like Black Panther. But 2, he got a lot of, exposure from being in Civil War. So the movie Civil War. So that I'm actually not terribly surprised. But it's interesting, in the top 10 comics of 2015, DC was only in there once. And we've only got stats here for the first 4 months of 2016, and DC's already in there twice. So hopefully DC will kind of get their act together and start selling, books like Marvel has been. Because as you guys know, I'm pretty miffed at Marvel right now, and I think that DC's doing some good stuff. I've been reading Rebirth, which at first I was pretty cynical about, but 2 things happened. One, Marvel pulled their stunt with Captain America, and so that, I dropped all my Marvel books, and that freed up more budget to let me try other titles. So I was able to, have more budget to look at more of the Rebirth stuff. And 2, I was hearing pretty good things about Rebirth, so I started checking it out. And yeah, it's really, really good. So the DC Rebirth #1, there's minor spoilers here, so if you don't want to know anything, plug your ears and go, no, 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 no. But it seems to be bringing the Watchmen universe into the mainstream DC universe. So they drop a couple of clues, and at the end of the DC Rebirth special #1, they basically come right out and say it, which is interesting in its own right. Now all of the one shots like Superman or Batman or Green Arrow or Green Lanterns or any of that, it's interesting. They don't actually continue to tell the story that has begun in Rebirth #1, which Rebirth #1 also features the original Kid Flash, Wally West, who has been sort of lost to reality and has been trying to come back. And one of the things they're trying to do with Rebirth, without rebooting the entire continuity, they're trying to bring some of the relationships back into DC and some of the stuff that made it great. So they're kind of doing a reboot without it being a reboot, which I was like, what does that even mean? I was very cynical on it. But what I've seen so far is pretty good, and in some cases extremely good. And what's interesting is the one-shots don't usually, in stuff like this, you have to keep reading all of the different one-shots and to get little bitty snippets of the rest of the story so you can piece it all together. The one-shots have nothing to do really with the story that was told in Rebirth #1 at all. It just establishes the new status quo for the characters and either establishes or reestablishes relationships for the characters. So it's kind of interesting. It's a little bit of a gamble, a little daring on DC's part, but hopefully it's going to pay off. And what I mean by reestablishing relationships, one of the great romances, one of the great relationships, if you will, of DC Comics, one of the great love stories is Green Arrow and Black Canary, Oliver Queen and Dinah Lance. And since the New 52 started 5 years ago or so, that relationship hasn't been there. One of the things Jeff Johns, who's basically the creative director of DC Comics, said we need to get back to some of these relationships that make things great. Hey, excuse me, sir, I'm going to try to interview Batman. I'm live on the radio. Would you like to say hi to our listeners? Absolutely. All right, this is Batman. Feel free. We're live on Shane Plays Geek Talk Radio, 96.5 FM. Feel free to share your name if you want to, but just tell us what are you cosplaying as? Well, I've already said Batman, but I know which Batman, but you could tell. And then, if you want to share your name or if you're having fun today or whatever you want to do.
My name is Chad Lawrence, and I am dressed as a Frank Miller Batman.
I knew that, but I wanted you. That's the first Frank Miller Batman I've seen here. I think I was here last year, too. It looks fantastic. So,
Appreciate it.
Are you reading The Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, by any chance?
Not yet.
Okay, well, I was actually just talking about that. I was going to get your opinion on it. So, are you having fun here today?
Absolutely. It's good to see Little Rock have events like this to keep growing and kind of including this little niche in pop culture.
Absolutely. I think they're doing a fantastic job. So is there any one panel or event or person here you wanted to see?
No, the main thing is actually socializing with the other people in this subculture and making sure that I feel that, I'm not alone in my little hobby.
Well, that's cool. Well, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's really down to the utility belt and everything. You've really captured that Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, that's year one Batman, right? Or are you doing Dark Knight Returns?
Dark Knight Returns.
Okay. Well, it looks absolutely fantastic. And you know what? You've got the voice for it too. So do me a favor. I'm putting you on the spot, but can you go, I'm Batman?
I'm Batman.
That was pretty darn. Did you hear that, guys? That was pretty darn good. You think either of your friends want to jump on here? They're welcome to if they want to.
Pretty gun shy.
Are they gun shy? Okay. Well, thanks for saying hi, Batman, and get back to keeping this city clean. By goodness. All right. So, what'd you think of that? I'm Batman, GL. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yes, I think.
I see the shredder. I don't know if I can get the shredder on. Yeah. Sorry, I talked over you, but he sounded good. He sounded a lot like he should have gone like, I'm not the one. He goes, I'm not the one wearing hockey pants. That's my favorite line from The Dark Knight. I'm not the one wearing hockey pants. All right. So anyway, I'm going to do my voice for you, GL, that I was doing before the show that you were like, don't say my name. Can I do the voice?
Please do.
Please do. How's it going? I'm Shane. I'm Shane here from the River City Comic Expo. Right there. That's GL in the operating room. Does that make you feel better?
Yes, it does.
Ooh, we're having some fun now there, GL. Woo. Okay, anyway, we're going to try to actually take us to a break. And when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and we'll try to walk around and finish out the show just chatting with people.
Comic book lovers, visit thewildstars.com today. From the mind of author and comic book industry expert Michael Tierney, it's not just a comic book, it's a comic book novel. The Wild Stars is sci-fi and so much more. Learn the explanations behind UFOs and space gods. This isn't the Twilight Zone. This is the region of the Milky Way galaxy known as the Wild Stars. We guarantee you've never read anything like it. The complete comic book novel took 20 years to tell, with one reviewer noting, the story of the Wild Stars stretches ambitiously across space and time, from small-town murders to the destruction of planets, with every event given multiple layers of meaning. If you haven't read The Wild Stars, you're missing out. Visit thewildstars.com today.
Megawars.net.
The classic online space strategy game has returned, bigger and better than ever before. Scout the universe and claim your empire. Construct, customize, and launch dozens of different starships. Battle thousands of opponents online in a team-based competition leading to the ultimate Battle of the Galaxies. Grab your slot today for the only online game where tactics and strategy still reign supreme. Visit Megawars.net and get options only available in our special pre-sales previews running now.
Megawars.net.
The die is cast. Plunge into worlds of fantastic adventure where dragons lie and the undead stalk the shades of your mind's imagines. Where creatures of legend plunder wealth through the horror of their passage. Monsters grim and foul hold the ecstasy of gold and the renown of glory. All this and more awaits you and your friends in the unlimited, fantastic world of the Castles and Crusades role-playing game from Trollord Games. Visit your friendly local game store or Trollord.com to get your copy today. A rules-light, adaptable game that has stood the test of time. 12 years in constant publication with no new additions, Castles and Crusades is the original, easy-to-play attribute check system. Join us and unleash your imagination. Visit your friendly local game store or Trollord.com to get your copy of Castles and Crusades today. Shane Plays Radio is blessed to have sponsors, and we appreciate them very much. However, did you know that you can also support the show as an individual for as little as $1 an episode? Simply go to patreon.com/ShanePlays.
Hey, we're back. Shane Plays Geek Talk Radio live from the River City Comic Expo downtown Little Rock State House Convention Center. We're having some fun now, GL. We've just been kind of talking to people and having some fun down here. Remember, you come down to 8 today and tomorrow. It's from 10 to 6. 2 days for $15 or 1 day for $10, and there is all kinds of crazy cool stuff going on. I'm actually, for the first time in the history of Shane Plays Radio, I'm going to walk around and put people on the spot and talk to them. So we're going to see how this is going to go. And our battery is running a little low. So if we go dead air, just hold on a second and we will be back. So we're now on the floor of the River City Comic Expo. Shane Plays Mobile. I'm looking, we've got food trucks down here. Got the Southern Gourmasian and others. There's a huge Magic tournament going on. Just walking past that right now. Coming up on role-playing games. Looks like a lot of fun going on. So let me see if I can interrupt one of these guys. I don't know if I want to interrupt them in the middle of it. Hey guys, you want to give a shout out on the radio? Are y'all having fun?
Yeah, what's going on, Shane?
All right, that's Castles and Crusades with Todd Gray, who is actually with Trollord Games, running Castles. You can play Castles and Crusades at 3 o'clock today if you get on down here. Thanks, guys. Have fun. So, but yeah, we've got all kinds of vendors and stuff. I'll see if I can find some show sponsors. I'm hoping to talk to some more cosplayers. So there's an R2-D2. Somebody dressed up as R2-D2. Walk past, I've got Doctor Who going on. Here's Captain America. I've got to get Captain America. It's Captain America and Black Widow. Hey, excuse me, y'all. I'm Shane Plays with Shane Plays Geek Talk Radio. We're live on the air right now, 96.5 FM The Answer. Would y'all mind speaking on air? Okay, so I'm just going to ask your names and who you're I know who you're cosplayed as, but you could tell people, so I'm going to start with you, sir.
Hi, I'm Mark Meeker of Red Skull Alliance Cosplay. I'm doing Captain America.
You look fantastic. So, and then, and you, ma'am?
I'm Marcy Meeker from Perfect Cosplay, and I'm Black Widow.
Wait. You guys are in different cosplay organizations? Well, do y'all compete? Oh, okay, I'm just joking. I'm trying to stir it up. I have to ask, is Mark right?
Yes.
I have to ask. I personally am extremely miffed with Marvel over what they did with Captain America. Do you mind sharing your opinion on that?
The whole Hydra thing, I hope it's a big twist in the end.
Well, it's a twist in my end, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, that definitely. From the original story with Hydra, I do the Red Skull, so I do a lot of Hydra stuff to begin with. And in the same sense, when people say Hail Hydra to me and I'm not in the skull, it's a little bit odd. So with that twist from the original writers and everybody being Jewish and everything like that, to see that was on the Hydra side, little...
That's kind of how I am. I mean, I'm not new to comic books, But when you say the entire 75 history has really been that way, and you do it right before Memorial Day, and I didn't like it. But anyway, your Captain America costume looks fantastic. How long did it take you to make that shield?
It's actually by Angelo Sunley from England. Got to make some great shields over there, and then I got it shipped over.
That's fantastic. So that looks like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the whole thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I do have my other ones at home. I do a Captain America it's basically a Civil War colonial Captain America. I hate to call it Civil War because I think of this outfit, but it's a colonial one. So it's got an eagle on the shield. So I got a bunch of different shields at home.
Nice. Now, did y'all, just real quick, both of you together, and then I've got to move on. Did y'all like the new Civil War movie?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was very good.
Yeah, I've seen it twice, so I liked it a lot. Thank y'all for your time. You look great. So, yeah, it's Captain America and Black Widow. Married team. So let's see who else we can grab here. Just kind of walking around. I'll kind of name out some of the vendors I'm seeing, too. I see an anime vendor here. It looks like Ninja Inc. I've got the Isaac Crawford, the Gray Judge. Tons. It looks like we've got Morticia. And I'm live on the air right now, 96.5 FM, The Answer, Shane Plays Geek Talk Radio. Would y'all like to say hi to my listeners? Sure. Just, if you would, just tell me your name and introduce. I know who you're cosplaying as, but kind of tell my listeners.
Morticia and Gomez Adams.
And you look great, down to the pencil mustache and everything. So, are y'all as romantic in real life as they were? You know, I loved the relationship on screen because Gomez had the moves, right? Yeah, he was smooth. So, what compelled y'all to do Morticia and Gomez Adams?
Just always loved them.
Is this the first time you cosplayed as them?
No.
So this is nothing new. All right. Well, you look absolutely fantastic, and thanks so much for saying hi to my listeners, and have a great day. All right. Let's see if I can find a couple of vendors here to talk to. I'd love to get, if possible. And GL says I don't have my eye on the time. Give me a heads up when we've got a minute or two left on the show because I have no clue what time it is.
I got you.
All right, thanks, buddy. So yeah, plenty of comic book vendors. Some cool jewelry. If you like geek stuff, this is absolutely the place to be. There's at these kind of expos, you'll get stuff that you really can't buy anywhere else, or you have to find it like on some obscure site or eBay or something like that. There's an Animal Man. Excuse me, sir. Hey, I'm live on the radio, 96.5 FM. The Answer. Would you like to say hi to my listeners?
Hello. How are y'all doing?
Good. And I know who you're addressed as, but you can tell your listeners who.
I'm Animal Man.
You are not only Animal Man, you are the Grant Morrison Animal Man.
I am the Grant Morrison.
And it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
so,
you know my real name?
You look familiar to me.
It's Buddy Barnes.
Oh, right, yeah. Duh.
You probably don't know my
But I was actually thinking you really look familiar to me, like you were messing with me or something like that. So, one of my favorite moments in comic book history was the end of issue number 1 where he got his arm ripped off. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
He's bleeding out. So how did he save himself?
Well, he absorbs the power of an earthworm to regenerate.
Ding, ding, ding. You win a nose prize, sir. Okay, we were just checking. Thanks very much. I got to press on. But yeah, that looks fantastic. Great Animal Man. So, all right. So a little bit of trivia there, and he nailed it. That if you've never read Grant Morrison's Animal Man series from the, I think, mid to late 80s, it's absolutely fantastic. So, and that guy nailed the trivia dead on. So
hey Shane, who's the most underrated comic book character of all time to you?
GL, are you saying the Animal Man is the most underrated comic book character of all time?
No, I was asking you who is your most underrated.
Oh, my most underrated. Huh. Wow. Man, you're putting me on the spot. I've got a lot of underrated comic. I thought the whole New Universe line from Marvel back in the 80s was underrated. I thought it was fantastic. I wish it would have kept going. Some other characters that come to mind is Blue Devil from DC. I really enjoyed Blue Devil. I don't know, there's a ton. I thought Speedball was a good character, and they ended up doing some pretty crazy stuff with him in Marvel. So, I could do a whole show on that. I may do that. But how about you? What's your answer there, GL?
You just did it, Animal Man.
Animal Man. Yeah, I think. And so have you read Grant Morrison's Animal Man from the 80s?
Yeah, and that when you brought up the thing about his arm getting ripped off, I was really hoping that he would have got it.
Yeah, he got it. He nailed it. Dead on. So I've seen a couple of, there's a Loki that looks pretty good. I've got some crows from the movie and the comic book, some people dressed up as the Crow. I just walked past. He looked busy. I didn't want to interrupt him, but Jeff Nodelman, who was on last week, who was worked with Doug and the Venture Brothers and some other animated shows like that. I just walked past his booth. Now, you asked me earlier if there was a Green Lantern. I don't see a Green Lantern cosplay, GL. I think you asked me off the air, but I do see a really sweet Green Lantern t-shirt right now. So and that's one of the vendors is wearing that. But yeah, this place is really doing well. Now, Michael Golden is here. He's a really well-known comic book artist, and I'm basically looking at Mike Zeck and John. I don't know if it's Beatty or Beatty. I've always said John Beatty, but it's Beatt. I'm looking at them right now, and of course, Mike Zeck has a lot of credits under his belt, but he also was the person who designed Spider-Man's black costume, and John Beatty did a lot of stuff with the Punisher, so and others. So I mean, I'm looking at these guys right now, and then right next to that. Well, actually, I saw earlier. I don't see. Yeah, Neil Adams. I'm looking at Neil Adams right now, talking with people. And if you don't know who Neil Adams is, and you think you're a comic book fan, you need to go reevaluate whether you're a comic book fan or not, because Neil Adams is one of the major comic book artists of comic books, especially mainstream comic books. I'd love to say hi to him, but he has a line of people that looks like he's doing some signatures and stuff for, so I do not want to interrupt that. But I'm looking right now, even as we speak, at Neil Adams. So this is the kind of caliber of guest that you have at this expo. Hey, there's my Mr. Michael Tierney. I was just looking for you, sir. Yeah. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
Doing really good. I'm walking around and hoping my battery doesn't die on this remote unit. Yeah. So if people come out here today, where can they find you, and what can they expect?
Well, I'm over here in the booth, very close to the Frazetta girls. There's a lot of other creators out here. We're all selling our books. A lot of guys are doing sketches, autographs. Some guys do the autographs for free. Some guys charge. It depends on who they are. I think Neil Adams, if you're a kid, they used to be free. I don't know if they still are now, but if you're an adult, he's going to charge for his.
Is that how it works? Yes. I was pointing out, we got Mike Zeck here, John. Is it Beatty or Beatty?
I'm not sure.
I was saying Beatty, I think.
Both.
Yeah, so, and of course I pointed out Neil Adams and others. So
Nichelle Nichols over here, too.
Where I have not seen her yet. Where is she at?
In the very far back corner.
Is she? I'm going to go see if she's there right now. Would you like to tell? Now, don't you have a special going on in your stores right now?
Yes, right now, at both stores, we have 25% off all back issues and graphic novels until 6 o'clock, both stores today.
Well, cool, and that's in honor of River City Comic Expo, right? Okay, so, and that's the collector's edition on JFK in North Little Rock, and the comic book store on Treasure Hill Road in Little Rock.
9307.
All right, thanks, Michael.
All right, thank you. Hope you have a good show.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, buddy. Yep. So I'm going to go see if I can lay eyes on Nichelle Nichols, Uhura herself. I don't know if she invented Bluetooth, but she's the first person I can remember with that little Bluetooth thing hanging out of her ear on Star Trek. So fascinating with Star Trek how so much of that technology has inspired people and become a reality. I mean, flip phones were straight up out of Star Trek. So, here we go. We've got Gil Gerard, and we have Nichelle Nichols. We have back here, kind of in their own area of the expo, we've got Gil Gerard and Felix Silla, who was Cousin It on the Addams Family, Tweaky on Buck Rogers. He played a role on Star Trek, and he was an Ewok in Star Wars. And Gil Gerard, of course, was Buck Rogers in the 80s. Loved that. I remember going to the movie with my dad. Took me to the movie, and I love watching the TV show. And then you've got Nichelle Nichols, who, of course, was Uhura on Star Trek. So really, really cool. Major guest here. Make sure to come check that out. Now, I'm looking here. I've got the sexy, the cute, and the ugly art of Joel Adams. And remember, he did the art design on King of the Hill and many other shows. And he was involved in other shows as well. And I will be moderating a panel here at River City Comic Expo with him tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So, make sure to come check that out. I'll see if I can get him on the radio real quick. So let's see what's going on. He's talking with somebody right now. Are you Joel?
Yes.
Hey, my name is Shane. Shane Plays Geek Talk Radio. I'm live on the air right now, 96.5 FM The Answer. Would you like to say hi to my listeners? Sure. Okay, so this is Joel Adams.
Hello, everyone.
And if people come to your booth, what can they expect?
Well, I have King of the Hill prints, original art prints. I've got some on my own pin-up and cartoony work. I got lots of stuff to look at and sell. Lot of fun over here.
Well, so now what you were very central to the design of King of the Hill, is that correct?
Yeah, I designed the first 3 years of the show as the lead character designer.
Okay, the lead character designer. So how did you come up with Boomhour?
I didn't necessarily come up with the characters. They were created by the writers and by Mike Judge, and some of the initial characters were designed by Mike Judge initially. I did a lot of cleanup on them, but they are Mike Judge's characters.
All right, fascinating. Okay, so you may not know this, but I'm actually moderating your panel at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So bribes accepted. I'm just joking. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for saying hello to my listeners. I'll let you say goodbye or anything else you want to say.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good day, and come see us.
Yeah, come on down and see us today till 6 o'clock and till tomorrow till 6 o'clock right here at the River City Comic Expo in the State House Convention Center, downtown Little Rock. Thank you very much, Joel. We'll talk to you tomorrow during your panel. So, like I said, there's just so much. There's so many vendors going down here. If you're looking to collect toys, comic books, games, the CW is here with they're showing a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, we've got food trucks, just all kinds of crazy cool stuff. So there's posters, prints. People are doing custom. I know the Brightwisers are here, and when they were Mitch and Betty, they've done work with Marvel and Image and many other stuff. And here's Game Goblins. Woohoo! I'm gonna put. She was just on last week, and here she is again. Stephanie Straw, insert Straw here on Twitter, representing Game Goblins. What's going on with Game Goblins this weekend, Stephanie?
We're slanging some cardboard.
They're slanging some cardboard all up in hall. So, what kind of events? David kind of shared a little bit earlier, but maybe you can expand some more on what you are doing this weekend.
So we have booths everywhere, basically, in Hall 1, which is by Neil Adams and the cover from Supernatural.
You're right across from the star. What is the name? The Bella, a Great Thief.
Yeah. So, and we have board games that we're selling. We've got a couple of games to demo. On the other side of the hall, where all of the open seating and tables are and stuff like that, we have tournaments. We have Magic, Warhammer today. Tomorrow we have Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we have open play. You can come and check out a game from our demo library, pay $5, get the game, and then we'll give you $5 back in store credit.
Very nice. And for the first... Yeah, there's people. It feels so good to see people over there playing role-playing games right now.
You might have already mentioned that, though.
Yeah, well, but I'm just gonna, mention it again. So, Stephanie, thanks so much. I've actually got to wrap the show, but tell everyone goodbye from Game Goblins.
Goodbye from Game Goblins.
You did the same thing Stuart Berryhill did earlier. All right, that's Stephanie Straw, gaming maven. Insert Straw here on Twitter. So I'm gonna go ahead. GL, how much time we got left? I know we're getting pretty close to the end of the show.
3 minutes.
And we got 3 minutes, and we'll wrap us here in a second. I'm looking right now at Bella, a Great Thief from the Supernatural TV series. What do you think about that, Cody?
Oh, I love this car. I love Supernatural. It's one of my favorite television shows.
Okay, so tell me, I know of Supernatural, but I've never really watched it. I've seen pieces of it here. What is the big deal with Bella?
She is their dependable. She's pretty much a character on the show. It's just you got the two main characters, and this has kind of become just a cult following behind this car.
Behind just the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even this season, there was an episode just dedicated. It was shot from the perspective of the car. So.
Okay. Oh, really? Is it sentient? Is it alive?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I've got Bella's handler here.
There's the owner. The owner is standing right there in the electric costume.
Oh, okay. That's the owner of Bella?
Yes.
Okay. Well, can you tell us anything about Bella?
Bella is the only screen-used Impala from Supernatural in the United States.
Ah, cool. It's a sharp-looking...
one that is owned personally, not by Warner Brothers.
So it's a personally owned... Now, is it like most other shows where there's multiple versions of a car? Like the Dukes of Hazzard, for example, there was like a billion...
Yeah, they have several of the car in Vancouver, where they film. This is the only one in the United States.
Now, was it used in the show?
It was used in the show in Season 9, in the Bloodlines episode when they filmed in Chicago.
Very cool. Yeah, very nice. All right. Well, thank you for your time, sir. What kind of response has Bella had?
It's been a great response. I've had quite a few people that said that they've only come here because we're here.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. The music is playing, so that pretty much tells us that we need to wrap. Folks, thanks so much for listening. This show was a little bit different. We kind of played it by the seat of our pants and just tried to give you an idea of what it would feel like to be walking around out here. So come to the River City Comic Expo. It's today and tomorrow, June 11th and 12th, right here, State House Convention Center, downtown Little Rock. It's $10 for one day, $15 for 2 days. You got all kinds of panels. You got the Little Rock Picture Show showing movies. You've got, I'm looking at Stormtroopers right now. I'm looking at all kinds of crazy stuff. It's really pop culture / geek / nerd destination number one. If you're in Little Rock this weekend, you definitely need to come check it out. And don't forget, there's games today at 3. There's a Red Hood that looks fantastic that just walked by. There's games today at 3 and games again tomorrow 11 and 3 for the role-playing games. But that's me. Thanks so much for listening. We will catch you next week on Shane Plays Geek Talk Radio. I am out, and I'm going to have some fun here the next couple of days. Come down and join me. Say bye, Cody.
Bye, Cody.
Yeah, everybody, that's the running joke today. GL and Zach and all the people at the station, thanks so much for helping make this remote happen.